I have a task for you for the next few days. I'll probably put it up on lots of other channels, not necessarily here. Well, I'll let you know. But it's this. It's the Scenthusiasm challenge. I don't know if you can see that way round. Let's see if you can see through it. It's about using your brain, your sense of smell, not just for appreciating what something smells like on you, not just for wearing, but also to see if you can push your brain a little bit harder towards a wider understanding and appreciation of what something smells like. Because we now know that when we smell things, if we take time smelling things, it engages other parts of the brain. It's not just, oh, do I like that, do I not? Although that's a very important part of it. It lights up the part of the brain which reminds us about sounds and sight and texture and all kinds of memories. We know that scent's linked with memory, but we didn't know until quite recently how hard it works to help keeping our brains healthy. And that is something which I'm fairly obsessed with. So, for part 0 then, I'll tell you what you need if you'd like to join in, because I think it'll be fun. You need something to write on. I have a fine little volume here from Papelerias Emilio Braga. I pay them, they do not pay me. But you know, I'm fussy about stationery. I also have a pen from a man called Adolphus Smith, who made it himself, and it writes really beautifully. Like I said, fussy about stationery, you can use a big biro and a jotter from whatever W.H. Smith is called these days. The important thing is that you write, because we now know that that connection between the brain and the hand means that we remember things when we've written them down. Far more likely, if you write your shopping list and go to the shops, you don't even need to look it up. If you've put it on a screen, you do need to look it up. We don't know how yet. So for now, we'll call it magic. But no doubt the neuroscience will explain it sometime soon. So please write. And I would like you to do a kind of a grid. Write yourself a kind of a square. Yes, you can do it on the spreadsheet, but please don't, because then you'll be typing instead of writing, and it takes away the connection between the brain and the arm, and this is something which is important. So I've got a little grid here in which I actually wrote feelings, it's like, sensations, reference. You can write those at the top of your columns if you like. You can write something different. What's important is this. Part 1. Well, technically part 0. That you don't try to identify what's in a fragrance. You just let your mind go and find the connections, make connections from what it's smelling. And I'll start with, I've unpacked this because it takes a while. So this is Amer's Vanulia. Now, I've already had a hint, haven't I? That if something's called Vanulia, we think it's going to be vanilla-y. This comes in a rather elegant box, and then inside a very tactile, textured, black, lovely, I'll put it down, bag. And then you get the perfume in quite an elegant, heavy bottle. All of this is influencing how we're going to feel about the fragrance. So, I'm going to spray this. As this is what you do, part 0, this is introduction. Just spray. And then think. Or rather feel. Just feel. Do you like it? Do you not like it? You don't have to decide. Where does it take you? Does it remind you of something? You don't have to try and identify it. That's what's kind of important. Okay, I've got chemistry filter papers here. You don't have to have those. I've also got some I did earlier, pieces of watercolour paper that I cut up. Cut up the wrapping paper you just got, your presents in. Use that. I'll write down on it what it is. Vanilla. Oh, this, by the way, was a gift because Amer has been one of my students for a long time, and when he came over to the UK from Saudi, he gave me the bottle. So it was handy, so I thought I'd use it. I'm actually very fond of his work. It is very Arabic for me, but the thing is, what I would write down here, do I like it? Yes. On a scale of, I can't wait to come myself into it, to, I don't think so. Let's think of a word. I find this attractive. Do I like it? Yes. Would I wear it? Occasionally. Because I don't tend to get into the really deep, rich ones, but if I'm going to go into really deep, rich ones, I'd want Amer to take me there. But just allow the thoughts to wander, and what does it remind you of? But all you need to write down for part 0 is, do you like it, do you not? And then just let your mind wander. That is also extremely good for our brains. If you're ever told off for daydreaming, just think back to that teacher and think how sorry you were for them. Because it turns out that daydreaming is extremely good for us. They didn't know. They were doing their best. So, that's it for part 1. I'll do the others. The other films are going to be shorter. But you need to be prepared, okay? You need to have the writing thing. You need to have the thing to write on. And you need to have enough to last you 12 days. Enough things. You can do more. You can do more than 12. And some of them will taste rather than smelling. Not the perfumes, that would be wrong. But this is all to do with turning us into better appreciators of aromas. And the reason for that is to help our brains stay fit and healthy. Okay, I'll let you in on just the next part is what colour? Just what colour would you give it? It's not right or wrong. For you, what does it light up? Now, we're always influenced by packaging. I know this is the natural colour of the fragrance because I know Amer. But I do get a very tobacco-y colour from it. Probably because that's what I've seen. But some people will feel another colour. Some people will feel it differently. So I'm just going to write on this tobacco colour, and I'll write that I'm intrigued by it because that's what I feel. That your perfume collection is going to help your brain stay healthy. Just give it some time. Just open the little doors in your brain and see what you can spot, and then write it down. Just give yourself, 5-10 minutes a day, and I'll come back with another one. Thank you.